Hey guys, Rise here, bringing you Game 2 of Canada versus the U.S. I had to put Canada's name this time because, let's give it to them, they won a match. And hopefully for them, they can continue to win it. But iNcontroL is up now as the next line of defense for the American border as they face off against Slush from Canada. And they're going to be playing on, as you can see, blistering sands, as it says up top. I can't highlight it because they took the mouse out, but that's cool. We can get along with that anyway. And yeah, waiting for pretty much all the viewers to load up. And once it loads up, we can get into things. There we go! iNcontroL, the yellow Protoss starting off at the bottom left. And War Turtle giving us some lag. That always gives the players some really good splitting ability. Facing off against Slush, the Zerg player, in orange at the top right. And of course, with blistering sands, we should mention that, the Natural's kind of far from the main, directly, I should say, anyway. And it's got a nice little choke here to help defend things a little bit better. We'll have to see how that plays out, though. Why is my game music so loud? Options. Sound. Let's see. Well, I don't know. No. I just want the sounds to go down. There we go. And where's music? Oh, there it is. Actually, I don't want music at all. I don't want music. It's ridiculous. All right, back in the game. Looks like we have not missed a thing because I got high APM when it comes to changing options. Actually, that was pathetically slow. But at this point, it looks like Slush is not... Oh, he is. He's making an Overlord. His name covered the egg, so I couldn't see it. I thought he was doing something tricky for a second there. Going for a standard build. Doesn't look like we're going to see anything sneaky from either player. Looks like iNcontroL going to set up for a nice little bit of a semi-wall off and probably leave a spot for a Zealot to defend right there. As we see that probe heading over as soon as he's got 150 minerals, he is going to put down that gateway, and that'll be where the the Zealot hangs out anyway to help defend this choke against any sort of Ling Rush or whatever else we might see coming from Slush. But at this point, Slush has decided to go for a pool first. So we are going to see a 14 pool, although actually that was a 15 pool. Sorry, it was built with the 15th drone. Excuse me. And iNcontroL now going to get some gas up. Looks like we're going to be seeing a pretty standard game. No cheese coming from either players, which is encouraging, as this is, of course, a match for pride. We have American pride and Canadian pride, or what you would maybe call a pathetic excuse for Canadian pride, on the line here. And of course, these players are going to give it their all. I mean, we got iNcontroL trying to protect great things like Disneyland and New York City and LA. Well, LA is not actually all that great, but parts of California certainly are. San Diego, let's go with San Diego. That's definitely a lot better than LA. I don't like LA, actually. Of course, Canada is defending the North Pole, Santa, Eskimos. Not sure if there's anything else in Canada worth mentioning. The Great Shield, I suppose, is a Canadian thing that is worth protecting. And anyway, it looks like we are going to see a gas steal. Very nice. I like the gas steal, actually, from the Zerg player. And I talk about this a lot in my games. The reason I like it so much, nice harassment, slowing down the expansion, by the way, for iNcontroL. Going to lose that probe, though. The reason I like the gas steal as a Zerg player is because, well, you've pretty much invested that drone as a lost cause, 50 minerals, right? You might as well spend 35 more to delay any gas, a second gas coming from the Protoss player. And it's hard to say whether or not the build is going to be actually affected by it. You know, you never know what the Protoss player was planning on going. But I do think it's a good way to go about things. Looks like we're going to have some Lings here pushing in on the front door. And there are no units to defend, but it's going to take an hour and a half for these Lings to destroy any building. Though they may get a pylon. That would be pretty interesting. Stalker about to pop out, though, so he's going to be able to defend this without much issue. And that pylon does not go down. And the Lings are pushed back for now. Back to the other side of the Canadian border, into the frozen tundra up north. Perhaps into the permafrost where they cannot burrow. That's funny. Come on. You can't burrow into the permafrost. That's hilarious. And Slush now has that hatchery going up. It's about 80% of the way done at this point. So he's going to get that hatchery going real soon. And where's the queen, though? Do we have a queen on the field? Looks like we do. Oh, I missed him as he slowly crawled across the map to get to the expansion hatchery. All right, so sue me. So at this point, though, it looks like we're going to see a forge going down for iNcontroL. I'm not sure if he's planning on going cannons or just getting upgrades. It'd be kind of unlikely for him to go cannons unless he was scouting a lair and spire. We are seeing a lair, though. That's also worth mentioning. Although we are not seeing a second queen. That's kind of interesting. Now, I'm wondering if Slush is going to use the next 25 energy for a creep colony, which is, in my opinion, one of the better times to use a creep colony to help spread the creep. And, that's going to help him definitely get a good mobility factor. I mean, really, as a Zerg player, if you can spread creep basically around here to your back door, as well as to the high yield, you're in pretty good shape for defending yourself fairly easily anyway. And he does! He makes a creep colony. Very nicely done by Slush, as he can't even use all the larvae he's got anyway, so that would be pretty pointless to go ahead and make a... to spawn more larvae that he can't spend it on. He's also getting some Ling speed. Not sure what he's planning on doing with that at this point, but maybe for scouting purposes, or maybe he's going for a Ling heavy build. iNcontroL, on the other hand, he's going for an observer out of that robotics facility. Basically wants to be able to scout out what's going on inside the base of the Zerg player, and he's going to find out that there's a lair done, as well as maybe some other information. Right now, all he knows is that there is a pool down. He never even saw the hatchery go down, so you can see that he's pretty far in the dark. Creep, spine crawler going down for the Zerg player. Looks like he's looking to add on some defenses. He may be expecting immortals coming in the near future, as that's kind of part of the timing you can expect. He obviously knows that there was a robotics facility going down, and immortals are coming out at this point. But look at this. Zerglings in the background trying to take out the rocks, which is kind of funny because iNcontroL's going to have to do that anyway as soon as these immortals get out, because he's walled himself off completely. So if anything, they've just helped the cause a little bit. Thank you, Canada. You're awesome at helping us. And looks like he's doing a pretty good job of spreading the creep tumor. We'll have to see if he can keep up that macro later on. I'm surprised he hasn't made a second queen, to be honest. I'd kind of like to see one, but he is investing a lot into his army at this point, so it's going to be one of those things that he's just going to have a little bit of a tough time defending. Hey, they updated the graphic. Check that out. Looks like he's going to get groove spines, which increases the range of the hydras at the hydraless den, of course. There goes the observer, getting a full eye full of everything going on inside of the base of Slush. That's going to be very useful information. He's going to see hydras that may cut down on the amount of immortals that he decides to make. Maybe we'll see some more sentries at that point. And a changeling is inside the base. Look at Slush. Sneaky guy, and I don't think that iNcontroL has noticed it at this point. No, he hasn't. As he's grouping up outside the rock structure. Oh, no. And with these immortals, he's going to be able to take that down really fast. However, the changeling, which is gone. Maybe it was killed. No, he's still hanging out the front side of the base. The changeling is not going to see it, so Slush has no idea what's... Well, no, it looks like he does have an idea of what's going on, as he is now hanging outside his own destructible rocks. So let's see. He knows, yeah, he's got Overlord coverage, so he knows that you just go in there. But look at this! iNcontroL with the observer in the base, able to see where the units are out, going for the weakest point of the base, and basically just running back and forth, keeping Slush on his toes, making sure Slush is paying as much attention to the map as possible. And that's going to be... Oh! And he took out a creep tumor. That's unfortunate. That's going to slow down some creep expansion. And it looks like iNcontroL is now moving in. He's going for the hatchery over here. He may be able to take it down. He's got enough immortals where he's going to do a lot of damage really quickly. Let's see it down. It's in the yellow already. 75%, 66%, 50%. Looks like he's going to get it down to 40. Oh, but he's going to have to back off using the sentries, putting down some nice force fields. That's going to help out against both the hydras and the lings. And he's going to be able to micro a little bit better over here to keep himself in pretty good shape. Throwing down the Guardian Shield. Is he going to go back for the hatchery? No, he goes for the extractor. He takes out the gas. And at this point, he's got to focus on the hydras. Looks like he's completely empty on his energy with those sentries. However, the Guardian Shield did the job. Now take down the hatchery iNcontroL. It looks like it's in the red. He's coming close to doing it, but he's got to make sure that he's paying attention to all the hydras that keep coming. He's got a lot of stalkers on the field. I like to see the stalkers. The immortals, of course, don't do all that much damage against the hydras, as much as they could anyway against armored types. I'd actually like to see them focusing on the hatchery. It looks like he's not. He loses one of the immortals. One immortal still there. Drones are joining the fight. It looks like Slush is in trouble at this point. It looks like he might get a stalker kill with those drones, though. But iNcontroL is rallying with his warp gates. Not really rallying, but warping in units at a forward pylon. And it looks like he's going to regroup at this point. Although he's in danger of losing that Immortal. He's got to be a little bit careful there. And this is kind of scary because he's giving Slush a little bit of time to get back in this. I wish he took out that hatchery with the couple of Immortals that he had. They could have been focusing on that. It would have been even more worth it, in my opinion, as it probably would have gone down. It continues to be in the red. Is he going to focus it down? He is going to focus it down. He says, screw it, I'm going to lose my units. Let's take it out. He manages to take it out. He loses almost all of his units, if not all of them, by the time they get out of here. Brutal's chasing him out of the base, as well as Lings, and it looks like that one last Stalker is probably going to get taken out before all is said and done. And at the same time, iNcontroL is getting up a second base. I thought it was the third. He doesn't have his natural yet. So he is getting up a second base over here, and this is unbeknownst to the Zerg player. And wow, this is an intense game already. The U.S. is not messing around. They have brought out the big guns literally in iNcontroL. Have you seen that kid's arms? They're ridiculous. And at this point, oh no!